Shristi Mishra from Student Academic Council, and I'm really excited to welcome you to the very first video of Placement and Internship Series. The series is all about gaining insights from seniors regarding their internship and placement and learning lessons from their journey. Today we have our first guest, Vrajesh Patel from the Department of Electrical Engineering, who has recently completed his internship at EPFL. So with this, I'm going to ask a few questions that would help juniors who want to pursue academic internship in future. Bhaiya, can you share your process for finding and applying to this internship opportunity?
Sure. First of all, thanks for the introduction, Shristi. Answering your question, so EPFL has a couple of summer internship programs. One is summer at EPFL and another is E3. So summer at EPFL is for IC people. So IC includes communication and computer science, and E3 is for other branches like chemical, mechanical, etc. So I applied through summer at EPFL, and there we have to list 3 professors based on the priority. So I listed Paulo Ain, Professor Babak Falsafi, and one more professor. So based on the priority, they shortlist a few students and ask the students for the interview. So a PhD student from Professor Babak's lab asked me for the interview, and the interview was mostly on the paper which I had. So she asked me about my publication, what all things I have done, what things I know about hardware accelerators in general, since my internship was supposed to be on hardware accelerators itself. And then she shared about what work they are doing and what I'll be supposed to do. So yeah, that was more or less the process of internship.
Okay, can you tell me more about the university? Like, how was it? How was your experience there?
So the university in general, like their work culture and all is really different from what we see at IIT Gandhinagar. So usually you won't find many people in the lab or at the university after 7 p.m. Everyone goes to their respective places after 7 p.m. And one of the problems that you might face over there is eating. If you are vegetarian, then you don't have a lot of options. So yeah, in general, the university was really good. I like their library, since I usually judge places by their libraries. So the library was phenomenal. Yeah.
Okay, so can you discuss any preparation or research you did prior to like applying for this internship?
So in the summer of my second year, so in the starting of my second year, I was doing digital systems course, which is a compulsory course for electrical as well as computer science, and I found that course interesting. That's why I took an extended course on computer architecture. And then in my summer of second year, I did SRIP under Professor Joyce, and the SRIP was on hardware accelerators for ML applications. Specifically, it was for CNNs. So yeah, that's how I landed into this domain of hardware accelerators. And my internship at EPFL was also on hardware accelerators itself. So it was a kind of a perfect match for me. So yeah, however, the application that they were targeting was different as compared to what I was working. But more or less, I had an idea of how to design system and how system level matrices vary on doing different things. So yeah.
I personally wanted to ask this question. Like, I'm in second year right now, and I'm really confused about my internship and what should I do in this summer. So I really wanted to ask this question. Next, did you tailor your resume or cover letter for this specific internship? And if so, like how? How did you do that?
So for my resume, I would say that since I had a publication, it was a bit plus for me. And apart from that, I think the projects that I kept on my resume were more based on Verilog and things like that, because hardware designing and hardware accelerator is more or less an RTL design, so you should know Verilog. So I didn't keep irrelevant projects. I kept the projects which were more relevant to that specific internship.
Okay.
And for the cover letter, it was mostly like I mostly described my publication, what I have done in my publication, and how will I add value to their lab. Yeah, that was more or less how it was done in my resume and cover letter.
Okay, did you put any like courses which you have done in your like project courses which you have done in your course itself?
I didn't do any project course before going to EPFL. So yeah, all of my project courses which I have done are after the summer of my third year. So before that, I didn't do any project course. And regarding the projects during the courses, so it depends on the complexity of the project. If I felt that this project was fairly complex and it's worth putting on my resume, then I I kept it on my resume, or else I didn't keep it on my resume.
I asked this question because I feel कि like at the end of second year or maybe first year, we don't have much to add in our resume. Like बहुत सारे projects किए नहीं होते हैं, ऐसा नहीं होता कि हमने बहुत सारे project courses लिए हो या फिर बहुत कुछ किया हो, तो पता नहीं चलता कि resume में डाले क्या.
So it's more or less like you don't need to put a lot of things in your resume, because they do understand that you have just completed your second year and you will be entering your third year, so you won't have done much since first year is the same for all the branches. So people mostly focus on courses in first year. What they expect is the CPI. I think CPI is the only thing that is the criteria for selecting you as a summer intern, at least in research. So yeah, if you have a publication, then it's an added advantage, but CPI is the major thing.
Did your internship experience align with your career goals and aspirations?
Yes, so I want to take my career towards accelerated computing for different AI workloads. So AI is the big thing nowadays. So for that, if you want to train and infer models, then you will need to have hardware for that. And memory and power are the major bottlenecks when you want to train and infer huge AI models. And for that, you will need to have domain specific architectures. So I want to align my career towards that, and I think it was completely both the internships, I would say the SRIP internship as well as the internship at EPFL was completely towards that path. So I would say yeah.
And like, how do you plan to incorporate the knowledge and skills you gained from like your internship into your future academic or career pursuits?
Yes. So my internship itself at EPFL was not too much research focused. So it was more like RTL design. So I learned a lot of things in RTL design, and it was not on Verilog. So we used a different programming language called Chisel, which is also a hardware description language like Verilog. So I think the good thing about my internship was they were very flexible, that you can use any of the languages and we are here to help you. So initially I found it really difficult to understand how the code maps into hardware and things like that. But the lab assistant and the people in the lab were really helpful at that time. And how will it help me in the future? So I would say that whenever I'll do at some point in time, I'll have to do RTL design. Like I have to do RTL design in my fourth year also. It's not like it's done and I did it once and it's over. It's not like that. So yeah, it will always be helpful to me at every point in my career, as well as the only thing which will change is the programming language, but it doesn't really matter as far as the logic of RTL design is concerned. It's always the same, regardless of the language.
So in short, you want to say that logic matters, but language does not.
Yeah, it's similar to what the programmers do, right? So for them also, the main thing is logic. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much, Vrajesh Bhaiya, for sharing your experience.
Thank you, Shristi. It was great talking to you, and I hope juniors will find this helpful.